And we're back. We are back. We are back. We are freaking back. Pulling up my reference photo. Yeah. Nice and charged. Boom. Boom. Come on. Randall, hey buddy. How you doing? Doing all right, man? Danny. It's nice having you, Danny. Glad you're here. I really like your figure painting you did of me. That's a good one. That's a good one. So your drawing is in the ballpark, I think, and the big shapes are looking good. The big shapes are looking good. It's, I think, constructing the subtlety, that's one thing. And making things a little bit too bright. It needs to have a little bit better sense of light. Like I said, just squint down. But you're doing great with that stuff. You're really good. And I'm not just saying that. I am very honest with my critiques. Very honest. I'm going in with a small, flat, synthetic brush. I'm not even going to tell you the number because it doesn't really matter. I don't think it's a small one. It'd be a small one. It's a small one. First, let's make some blue. Mix a little bit of blue here. Just a touch of white. Gray it out with some orange. Probably grayed out quite a bit more actually. More orange, a little bit more white, a little bit of walnut oil, mix it. There we go. That's nice. It's good to paint with. I can always adjust it with my brush. There we are. Yuri, hey buddy. What up? Yes. A symbol. I'm going to make a pile without white. I'm going to add some blue, some ivory black, and some orange, which is my mixture. The mixture. It's probably a little bit too gray, but that's okay. We'll go with it. We'll go with that. That works. I always blew it out with the brush. Blew it out with the brush. Can y'all can hear me okay, I assume? Let me know if you can't. I'm going to be working with a smaller brush and do a kind of a crisscross technique. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Crisscross technique initiate. Oh shoot, I just got grease on me. I don't know how. Where's this from? It's on the brush. Okay, wait, give me a sec. I've oiled myself. It's not good. Not off to a good start. Dude. Thanks for the commentary, Lewis. I think the paper could be smoother as well for drawing like that. I saw by the photo I sent that it looks not so soft in general. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, you know, go off critiques based off what I see, but there's a degree of inaccuracy because of the photo, and you know, that's kind of a testament to why real life is better. Again, real life is always better than even video. Video and photographs and all that stuff. Okay. Oh my God. Where? On my palette? I don't think so. Huh. Quildor. Hey, buddy. Milani. Gosh. Yeah, it's Melanie. Balake. Do we have a balake here? And I literally just put my hand in the oil again, wiping it off though. Quildor, link the video that I sent you. Hey, Ron. Do me a favor and link that video because that actually happened in the stream. Which I was thinking, I felt so bad about it. I do that stuff, but when my attentions divide here and I'm reading and I'm scrolling through, I'm still learning to juggle what I read and what I paint and try to do a commentary. It's a lot for me right now. I'll get the hang of it, but I felt very bad about that. And then afterwards I was laughing because it was just like Key and Peele, except I actually did it in real life where I butchered this woman's name. I was saying it like ghetto. You have a Melania? Melani? It's really funny. Okay. I do stuff like that. All right, add some white, some blue, some orange to gray it out. Otherwise it's going to be too blue. Graying it out. It might still be a little bit too, it's getting better. And add a little bit of walnut oil. Make it a little bit malleable. Scrape the painting with my palette, that has to be good. There we go. This is too blue, which is easy. So like, if I want, all I have to do is just take a little bit. It doesn't take that much. A little bit. Just a little bit of orange, especially when you're in the lighter colors, you need less color. There's lots of color in midtones, the deep midtones and such, right? This is kind of a midtone. It's not really a light, but it's a light compared to what we have here. So there's going to be less color. Less color. And when I say less color, I don't mean like this looks like there's less color. I mean you add less color. Because if you add the same amount of color to this as opposed to this, like the color goes further here. Because it's just more apparent with the white, I think. Hello, fellow art fans. Does this link show up? No, don't see it. Sometimes they don't let you post links. Let me see if I can do it. Give me a sec. I'll do it because nobody's watching anyway. Or not a lot of people are watching. YouTube? There it is. Let's see if we can do this. There. So I just linked away from my stream. See, that's how good of a streamer I am. I bring you here and then I just send you off to another video. Okay. And we're going to get just a touch of cadmium. Let me see how this looks. 1 second, guys. Sorry. To a little slow start. See, once I get all these little quirks out of here, we're good. We'll see how it looks when I put my palette up. Yeah, this is okay. Y'all can kind of see this. Okay. You can kind of see this if I do this. Okay, yeah, you see it. All right, that's way too much, but still. Good experiment, it worked. I corrected that pretty fast though, Queldar. And you know what I mean, you little smartass. Okay. Crisscrossing patterns, crisscrossing, serpentine. What's that from, Queldar? Serpentine! What's it from? All right, we're just gonna fade the light out just a little bit. I'm using the same brush to work within kind of this dark range. There we go. And get the transition squinting down. Squinting down. I like the crisscross because it makes a nice light effect sometimes, not all the times. All right. This I grayed out too much, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of blue. Offset it. There we go. And then bring that in. Buzzing. Okay. It's a little bit grayer, a little bit lighter up at the top. Nope. All right, going in with a little bit of lighter color. Taking a little bit of orange that I have here that also has some cadmium in it. Can't really tell the difference between the two. I did this mixture and it came out to be exact orange. Sometimes that happens. All right, there we go. This is the gray I want. There we go. And just bloom those edges, work the edge of the building there. That's going to get darker at the top. Wipe the brush off to go into the darks a little bit more. I'm going to mix some ultramarine blue into this mixture very shortly because so I won't have to keep on going back and forth like this. This is actually wasting time. Break it down some with some walnut oil. There we are. Beautiful. Go up here. Realize that's too dark. So I'm going to bring this up top where it actually does work. There we go. It's a little bit up top. It's kind of sunken in. I might use a bigger brush for that. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Okay. Let's I'm going to switch the brush out for that. I'll go back and forth between the two. I'm going to go with my 4 filbert. All right, we'll work into the darks here. All right, so it was that dark there. Let me put this down to see how it is. Okay, so I'm going to lighten it up some, add a bit of orange to gray it out some, add just a touch of the mixture with the white to lighten it, and we go into it up top here. That seems about right. There we go. Okay. Step back to see how this looks. All right, it's coming along. It's coming along. Get a little bit darker. There we go. This might be too dark. No, it works. And then we'll just bring this down because this is very sunken in. It's the first painting anyway that I did. Okay. I'm just gonna have this kind of fade up into oblivion up top. There we go. All right, wipe the brush. Let's mix some ultramarine blue into this mixture so I don't have to continuously mix into it. So you can modify your colors as you paint. You modify your colors as you paint. And so as you can see, I have this organized here. Like my lights, normally I would have them up here. Maybe I should have pushed them up some, but there's enough space. And I have, like for the stone walk, like for the stonework, these colors I'll be mixing in with the oranges and the reds. So I'll be mixing around here for the stones, for the cobblestones and the building and such. I'll be mixing in between here. Then you have the greens at the top. So the greens and the reds are separate so they don't start blending and graying each other out. So you just have to take 5 seconds playing ahead with your palette. It'll make the entire painting session much, much easier, if that makes sense. All right, there we go. Now, going with the brush again, dark brush. And if I want to darken this, there's black with some blue, and I can darken it just a little bit. And we're going to eventually work all the way up to the deep blue up top. So add just a little bit of ultramarine blue because I add color in every time I adjust the light or dark value, the light and dark value of the paint. I will always go in. I've made it a habit. I've made it a habit to adjust the color at the same time. Even if you think, that color's good, it doesn't need color. Even if that's the case, you know, make it a habit. You can still make it a habit, and that way you won't have to think about it. If it's a habit, you just kind of do things after a while, you know. All right, you're just scrubbing it onto the board. There we go, add a little bit of blue. And it's also good because in between getting paint, if you add a little bit of color in each time, you'll find that you actually have some good color variation. Because sometimes, like, I could choose to put some blue in here, paint some on, you know, paint it in, and then within reason, I could come here and actually gray out a part, so you're going with the orange and then just add a touch of red to make it kind of a little bit more, and you can just contrast that blue with a little bit of orange, but within the same field color. And that way too, there are these little subtleties that your eye will pick up, and it'll make the paint turn. It'll make it vibrant, and that's how, like, that's a great way of making the painting look vibrant. Because I still think the best thing in painting is a drawing. Like, I'm more attracted to a painting that has accurate drawing, but not as good color. But the color can kill the painting if it's like smooth and dead as such. Hey Lisa, 200 million views. AA Ron. Lisa, how many views did it get? 200 million? Are you kidding me? It did. I thought you were joking. That's a lot of views. That's really good. It's been around since 2012. It's hilarious too. Okay. Let's create that. And I don't feel like having 5,000 brushes today. So let's just go in with, I'll go in with the small brush with this. We'll vary it. I'll notice, like, I don't always do the same brush with stuff, even though, like, you can still get the same effect. Or you can get like a really good effect with the brush. And some brushes are optimal for other areas, right? Sometimes, like, there are better brushes, but it's good to know how to use all different types of brushes in different situations. Okay. There we go. I don't mind that I'm showing a little bit of brush stroke here. I don't mind. Do not mind. A little bit of walnut oil, just a little, just a touch, smidgen. There we go. So in a painting like this, it's going to be shrunken down for the book cover, so it's going to look nice. Even if I put some brush stroke here, you'll see it on a smaller scale. So, like, I'm trying to think of how it's going to look when it's shrunken down, right? Not just blown up. And when you step back, you can get a good idea of that. Step back, you can get a good idea. Go. Good. Grade out just a little bit. You want some variation of color. There we go. Flip the brush. That's it. I see those strokes. I'm going to refrain from refining it and see how it looks when you step back. Just a little bit. Yes, it looks good. I like how it looks when you step back. But you can always have a more attractive brush stroke. Always have a more attractive brush stroke. There we are. Take some of the dark. Okay, so we're mixing between the two. And let's add just a touch of blue this time. All right, it's gonna be a little bit different. That's a little bit more vibrant blue, which probably should be out here some, but I have to be careful because it's starting to green out there, right? We're fading into green. So let's go and just get a touch, just a little bit of the cadmium yellow. Less than you think almost, and then we're going to start it right around here, and that makes sense. That makes sense. You kind of blend that paint in just a little bit, bring it up some. All right. Before we go crazy, let's step back. See how it looks. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yes, it's looking very good. Okay, fifth needs blending. Now, do we blend like this? No, we don't, because we're not morons here. We mix a separate value with a separate color, and we put it on with separate brush strokes. Perfectly. That's drawing. So, initiate. Observing. Mixing. Take a little bit of that color, a little bit of the lighter color. Took too much at the top. Take a little bit more there. Okay. Let's just dab it. I think this is too dark. I'm right, as usual. So I'm going to lighten this just a little bit, ever so slightly. Little bit of walnut oil. Really sneaks up on you. All right, this should be good. Yes. And lightly. This is where brushwork comes into play. I'm just slowly doing. Okay. Slightly squint my eyes as I paint. That helps. We step back. Ow. Stupid thing. Okay. All right. Okay. It's coming. Piece of donkey. Okay. Now, ultramarine. Just tap it. Add to this color. Lighten it because ultramarine darkened it. There we go. There's enough paint on the brush. Don't be afraid to put paint on the brush. All right, and we're just going to tap the brush in here, and we're going to bring it up just a little bit, just a little. There we go. So we're putting separate values to turn it. We're not meshing around on the board, right? It's going to grade out. It's going to grade out, which is bad. Okay, now what we're going to do. I was trying to be cool, and I dropped it. Okay, we're going to really work on this transitional edge there. Is it difficult? For most people it is. Ha! For most people it is, but not me. I'm organizing the palette. I'm going to bring this over just a little bit. Okay, so I'm not all the way over here. I'm going to combine these two colors. I'm going to Wait a second. One of them had orange in it. Ah, screw it. It'll still work. Okay. Add a little bit of walnut oil to this medium. Advanced technique. I just scraped up some of the blue. There. Okay. So this was our highlight. Now here's the thing with highlights. Sometimes when you put it, like I keep mine on a palette and then I put it in the freezer. That palette sometimes has some paint. Sometimes, I keep it pretty clean, but sometimes I'll get the paint in the highlight area. And when that happens, it sullies the color. And so sometimes I'll take the highlight and I'll add that into like a lighter mid-tone. I'll make a lighter mid-tone out of it. Van Chica, hey, I see ya. How's it going? And then I'll just mix a new highlight, just so it's fresh. And that's kind of what I'm doing. But, that's neither here nor there. Okay, going into the light area here, which I know this is darker than this is by a little bit. So I'm just going to put it on the very edge. I'm going to bring it out just a little bit here. We want a glow effect. Okay? We want a glow effect. There we go. Add some ultramarine blue. So now I'm working in between these, and this is the same brush. Now it's easier to use the same brush when it's small because there's less paint to wipe off, and you can wipe off paint in between. I wouldn't, though, necessarily go into a dark value with this because still the paint is going to kill a very dark value. It's not going to be as transparent. Okay, so I might keep this like halfway up. I might keep this brush like kind of around this area and maybe get another one for the darker areas at this point. All right, add just a little bit more color. A little bit more ultramarine blue. So we're mixing between the values. We're getting the light value, and then we're getting color into it. That's the habit we form. And then the placement is the drawing. And so I am like when I put this on, this is how I look. Like that. That's how I look when I paint. Doing that. And you can do a combination. I kind of open my eyes and close them, or squint. Step back just a little. I got too close there. Let's just loosen up just a little bit. I'm just going to bring it up to the top some, just to blend it in just a slight bit. Okay, I'm going to step back. That's looking okay. Now I'm going to wipe this off because I'm going to go into the lighter area again. I'm going to add a little bit of walnut oil. Take this medium here and I'm going to work this edge just slightly. I'm just touching, I'm not really pressing in because I want the paint to lay on top. I'm going to bring it up a little bit too. Okay. There we go. There we are. Okay. So that's coming along. That is coming along. There's still the reference photo. I think I still have the reference photo in the description, right? So you guys can use it and follow along if you wanted to. Which I always recommend. Laura, ciao. It's Laura. Laura. Okay. All right. So I like this, there's like this little glow in here. Let's put that in. Let's put this little glow in. All right, so glow, initiating glow. Comes here. And then it's that glow. It's not just the contrast, right? It's the color around it. And there is a lot of color. And you got to contrast that color with essentially the colorless highlight that we just put in. So I'm going to put just a little here. Bring it up some. I'm not worried about inside here. I can always bring the light in again. I'm just trying to lay down the color, and then I'm going to step back and see the impression. I'm squinting down as I'm doing this. Light, just barely squinting down. Bring some of this up top. There we go. Step back. Okay. Wipe the brush off, because I got that blue in it. Go back into the walnut oil, get some light color, and this isn't white. This isn't like lightest light. It's not, because I brought it down in value some. So you can always bring the color up later, which I don't mind doing. All right, testing to make sure. I think that might still be a little wet. I don't want to touch it. I'll just put my finger here. There we go. So the side of the brush, I kind of blend the side in, and then I'm going to flip it where there's fresh paint. That's on the other side of the brush. And I'm squinting down. I'm not worrying about the technique too much right now. There we go. All right, so that's kind of coming along, and let me go back into it. I'm going to take a little bit of the dark here. Okay, and that's actually a lot of blue too, but for a habit, let's go and just get a little bit of color into it, and I'm going to shape this a little bit. Put my finger here, it's a little bit tricky. I'm just using the corner of the brush. Shape that just a little bit. Okay, step back, let's see how that looks. It's looking okay. Let's take a little bit more. There we go. Soften, soften. Okay, now let's take, tell you what, I'm going to really try to clean this off, and I'm going to go into the dark red up top here, right here. And I'm not too concerned about this because this does have to, like, it's not going to be so dark. It's not going to be like darkest dark. So that's why I don't mind using this one brush here. If I was really trying to get transparency, I use a much cleaner brush. Squint. And then kind of bring that down some. And then flip it. There we go. I'm going to go back and forth with it and try to get some of the color, which I didn't really have much white next to it. So I'm going to really clean this off again. And it would be more efficient, again, to use separate brushes so I wouldn't have to clean so much in between. But I don't mind doing it, it's fine. So for this, for the transition, I'm not going to go with straight white, I don't think. Let me think, what am I going to do? Because essentially what's happening is this piece right here is lighter, so why don't I just make that a little bit lighter? And so if that's that, let's do, should be a value between these, I think. This is kind of tricky. Okay, so a value between these two right here, that's what we're going for. But it's gonna be like not as blue, all right? So I'm gonna get orange. I'm going to really gray this out. I'm going to get some red. But I don't want it too much. All right, this is kind of a neutral. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to take this. This might be too dark still. Yeah, you can't really tell. Okay, so I'm going to get it significantly lighter. So probably around here. Okay, around here. And then I'm going to gray it out, because we're changing the color here. This too. I'm going to add just a little bit of red, but not too much. Let's try that. Flip it. Really add to it. It's kind of blending on underneath. I tell you what, I got an idea. I'm just going to bring some white and a touch of ultramarine blue up into it. See, sometimes you have to experiment with this stuff. I'm trying to get a certain effect that is a little bit difficult to get. using the corner of the brush. And you need to really think about drawing. All right, so it's a little bit dirty now, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually take it and go over the top part here, which could grade out some, but I have a plan. Squinting down, okay. That's looking a little bit better. That's kind of how I want it anyway. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to really bring the light up and shape that area. Okay? So I'm going to take the same brush, go into the dark or the light, scoop it straight up, really on the corner of the brush though. And then I'm going to take it and just patiently shape that inside piece. Comes in just a little bit, something like that. Cool. Now I'm actually going to mix a light value right beside it. The lightest light. Ooh, actually I have an idea. Use some titanium, that'll really make it pop. Okay, welcome, come here. Yuri and Chickadani. You like the music, Laura? Have I ever worked with a gallery? Yes, I have. I was in Altitude Fine Art, and then in 2008, when everything kind of went under, like the housing market and all that stuff, the gallery went out of business, so they sent the paintings back. I had 5 of them. And I'm in one here in Winston-Salem, where I live. Where I live. And I think, you know, the thing is, obviously this is just brain dead. You got to get in the right gallery. Every gallery, you know, even some prestigious ones aren't great to be in necessarily. And sometimes they're good for name. It's good to say, yeah, you're in it. If they advertise you and treat you well, but if they treat you like fodder and they have 3 or 4 names that they gravitate around and everybody else is just filler, then you don't want to be in one like that. Also, it depends on what type of work you do, because if you, like for example, I would do a lot of commission work and I would market myself, and that's how I've actually been making a living off commission work, actually just painting. Well, one of the galleries wanted me to be exclusive to them and say, okay, well, any commission that I get, I have to pay them, literally, I have to pay them 50% of whatever commission, even if they didn't get me the commission. No, I'm not going to do that. Half my business. Now, if they promise to make me a certain amount of money in the year, I'll do it. But I already didn't hear good things about that one. So sometimes, like, you have to just discern that stuff. It's a little bit tricky. Okay. Back stepping. Why did I come back here? I wanted to get titanium white. Titanium white. I wonder if there's a way for me to get chat. Like if I had an iPad right beside, because I have an iPad here. When I'm painting, I have another iPad. I get the iPad up and get the chat up. Might try that, but it's dead. Now it's at 2%. I'm going to plug it in though, and then I'm going to experiment at the end. Okay. That cord is not looking healthy. All right, titanium, where are you? But the gallery I'm in here, which is Larry Laster's Fine Art, I know the man and he actually pushes my work and he's actually gotten me commissions. And so even if the, like, let's see, I don't think any of the paintings I have in there have sold, but I don't have a lot. But he has still, he pushes my work. Like, he'll help me get commissions, and I show my work in there. It's actually, he's really good and stuff like that. So you gotta get the Discord up, and then we can blab in your ear while you paint. That's a very good point. And I need to get a wireless earpiece. That's what I've been meaning to get. All right. Sorry guys, 1 second. Because I'm going to forget. You have to understand, like the stuff that I've been doing, I'm doing a lot of infrastructure work right now and it slows me up, but I'm getting this, this isn't working. Getting it to a well-oiled machine, and then we're gonna start producing, which we are producing. It's just, it's a little bit rough right now. A little bit rough. Discord. There we go. I will get it up after this. I'll get the Discord up after this, okay? And I'll put it on, okay, I'll get the Discord up, I'll put it on the community page, YouTube, okay? So we'll post it on the community page. I think that's a smart move. I think that's a smart move. I'll do that right after the stream. Titanium white, because titanium white is very bright. Where the frickin', there it is. Palette knife. All right, titanium white. I'm gonna take this here, just a little bit, and I'm just gonna leave it titanium white for now, just right there. I take it separate so I don't have to put my brush up there and ruin it. Instead, I'll ruin it here. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of walnut oil. Just a little bit more. All right, I don't want to make it white, like totally white. Okay, I don't. I'm just trying to make it a little bit brighter, because this mixture right here, actually, I don't know if y'all can tell, but it has a little bit of orange in it and blue, which means it's lowering the value and killing the color intensity. I want to have high value and a little bit better color intensity. So to do that, color intensity in this case is going to be blue. So you do not want to have yellow or red fighting with the blue. You just don't. You don't want to do it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of walnut oil again. Here we go. All right, press my brush up into it and add just a little bit white. Flip it. Okay. Work the edge. Working the edge. There we go. Don't breathe. Okay. Step back. That's okay for now. We're just going to leave that. I'm getting too piecemeal with this thing. I'm getting way too piecemeal. All right, let's put, let's work the ground up a little bit. We're going to work this. Actually, no, wait. Let me fix something up top. I see something. Go into the light. As I'm working the light here. A little bit here. Bring that value up. There we go. There we go. Shape this just a little bit. That. All right, I'm going to go in with the dark value here. The top. And this is black and cadmium red. There we go. Okay, there we go. Shaped it just a little bit. Now, what I did when I shaped it, I worked this up here, and what I was doing, I was actually getting some white on the brush so that when I brought it down here, it would bring the white part here, and this would be lighter because I wanted this to be lighter than this. All right, so it's kind of a weird technique. I know it juts out some, but screw it. I'm done with that. It's looking really good so far. Thanks, Laura. Make sure it's on every description of your videos. Also, make sure you post the permanent link, not the one that expires. Yeah, you can make it permanent, I know. I don't think we have a community page until we have 1,000 subs. I know. Let me check, but I think I do have mine. So post it on your Instagram bio temporarily. I'm trying to stop the voices in my head. We all are, Randall. Give me a sec. Substitute. Let me go to my channel. Let me see something. My channel. I have a discussions page. Okay, it's not a community page, but I have a discussion page. And I can post it there. Okay. We're in the highlight. I'm going to work a transition really quick. Working in between the values here. As habit, add just a little bit of color. Even if it doesn't do anything, just get in the habit of getting the muscle memory of mix, 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 and then get color. All right. If you do that every single time, your work is going to really change for the better. There we go. I am kind of using the wrong brush to do this, but I like I said, I like switching it up. And this painting is not, I don't want to say like, it's not like I'm not trying on it, but it's not as serious, if that makes sense. It's not like the same caliber painting that I've been doing. Okay, I'm going to take the same brush and actually put a couple touches of highlights here, like down below, but I'm going to make them less bright because like they're not that bright down here. They're bright compared to the surrounding areas, but they're not going to be like white. So I think this is probably good right here, and I'm just going to squint down a little bit and let's get a couple. And they're going to be closer together up top. We can kind of work them in just a little bit once we get a little bit more paint down. Okay, let me step back and see how that looks. Okay, that's coming along, and I can always bring the light up with it. And then there was this one right here, which is kind of cool. We can work the light into it. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to bring this light value up some, and it's going to be greener, okay? Jin, hey buddy. Jin. All right, cadmium yellow into this mixture here, which I'm going to go darker here because obviously it's not going to be this light, right? So I was working here before, now I'm working in here. I'm gonna kind of, I added some cadmium yellow, and what that's going to do is going to mix with the blue mixture in here, because this is predominantly blue. And that's going to give us the green that we want. So I'm going for the green, the color, and then we're going for the value. Now might need to get a little bit more. I'm going to push the green just a little bit here. Push it. I'm going to push, so essentially what do? When I add yellow and blue, I'm taking the red out, because there is some red in this mixture, okay? We're making it more green. And green is the opposite of red, right? So if you want something greener, add yellow and add blue, and that brings the red out, right? And it depends on what yellow and blue you use. The cadmium yellow is a very potent yellow. Okay, we're going to put a little test here. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is good. I like this. Ever so slightly. And I'm just going to kind of wisp it on. And we need to kind of connect it just a little bit here. All right, let's see how that looks when we step back. Yeah, I mean, I could have done a better job. Let me shape this area here. Let me do, whoops, crap. Okay, just do that. Robot. Okay, there you go. All right, that kind of looks a little bit better. That looks better. Okay, let's go in the dark. What is that? Okay, that is a pole. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. If the figure's going to be here, right? That's where the figure's going to be. Where does he have it in his conceptual work? Let me pull the conceptual work up really quick. Actually, going to look at the stream. He has them over to the left of that a little bit. Okay, gotcha. There we are. Off in this area. Okay, there we go. So the impression's kind of coming, but the drawing's off, especially in the reflection on the ground and such. So let us work on the ground a little bit. That area is starting to look a little bit better. And there, at least when you squint down and step back, it's looking okay. All right, let's study this just a little bit. Let me study. Okay, I see what's going on. Going with this light brush again, and I'm going to work kind of in this dark area, and I'm going to orange it out some. So that means gray it up, because if you want to get rid of the blue, what do? What's the opposite of blue? Orange. Because orange is the primary color is yellow and red, so if you want to get rid of the blue, add yellow and red. That negates the blue. All right, so that's what we do. And I'm just going to go in around this area and just give it a little bit of color and shape the cobblestones out ever so slightly. Squint down, because at the same time I'm shaping, it's going to be changing the light impression. So I have to think about the drawing and the light impression at the same time. You know, drawing and painting and all this fun stuff, it's all about juggling several different things at once. And at first when you start, you can only do a couple. You can only juggle a couple things, and it's very difficult. And that's normal, and that's okay. After a while, you're able to do more. So that is the idea behind it. All right. So this is going to be kind of light, even though it's a mid-tone up top here. You get the drawing a little bit better up there anyway. Okay, let's darken this brush a little bit. I'm going to take some orange to gray it out some. There we go. And it's a little bit green, so I'm going to offset that. What's the opposite of green is red. Offset that with some red. Okay. I'm going to bring this down here. Now we're working, and so it's kind of a cool bluish value, but it needs to work with these darker values down here. And that's what I'm doing. So now I'm working the drawing in and trying to maintain the impression at the same time. Let's shape this. There we go. Let's bring this up top here, because this value is turning into the dark. So let's bring this up top some. Step back to see how it looks. It looks okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one with those mean voices. All right. Let's lighten this up some, and let's take a lot of orange. There we go. And we're going to work over this way just a little bit. Let's fix this. There we go. Getting these values in. So we're working like with very kind of individual, precise colors. That's what we want. And the cool thing is the orange I can take to, I'm using blue and using orange, and they play off each other to really make color pop and make it more three-dimensional, which is kind of nice. Okay, that's going to be cooler in there. Let's bring some light up here, just kind of get a nice textural look. All right. Okay. All right. It's looking good. All right, so let's get some deep blue this time. Deep blue. I'm gonna bring it down to the orange mixture here, add just a little bit more orange, but not so much. We still want this blue. I'm trying to bring the blue down some, just a little bit. Because we don't want the blue like the same blue as we have up here. We need to keep an eye on everything that's going on in this entire work. Yeah, this works. Okay. Something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that blue value over that way some. That was too much blue, so I'm going to orange it out some. There we go. That should be it. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. And just, you don't need to go fast. It helps to go slow. I'm squinting down, and as I'm squinting, I'm pulling this here, but my eye is looking at this whole thing to make sure this impression is like, you know, make sure that the walkway is still glowing the way it should. Using water, soluble colors. Some of this value I could try to use here. There's these diagonal blues here, which, all right, let's see if I can kind of get them. It's kind of cool. All right, we'll just leave that there. Just kind of, I don't want to overdo it. There's a little bit that's coming this way. See how it looks if I go across. Let me try to do this. Okay, I don't want to do too much. Okay. Let me go into my dark brush. Observe what's going on. I don't want to see too much. I still kind of want to take some information out. Because there's information. I can open my eye up. I can see all this information, but I always put too much information in. So as an exercise, I'm going to try to take some out. All right, I'm going to work between, what am I going to work between? All right, overall, there is some red in there, but overall, I'm like pointing to the side. There is some red here. There is some red here, like in the photograph. But overall, I think there's a little bit of red here. It cools off down here. Okay, so I'm going to work with black, cadmium red, and darken it with my ivory black and ultramarine blue mixture. I'm going to add a little bit of ultramarine blue, and then I'm going to lighten it because this value right here has some orange in it. So I'm lightening it without whiting it. Okay, so do that. Maybe I shouldn't have done the ivory black, ultramarine blue. Let's add a little bit more of the cadmium mixture here. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, that's a good value. I actually like this value, and that kind of works for what I'm going for. And if I want it to be more red, I can accentuate it with some alizarin crimson. So let's try to do bigger brush strokes with a small brush and kind of just go across. Just get the impression there's going to be a lamppost here, so there's a shadow, and it starts about right. Yeah. It does this cool thing where it kind of fades. That was like probably too far over, but let me see if I can make this work. Doing this, okay. I can lighten that some. All right, let's step back. I'm going to lighten parts of that area, but I'm going to continue bringing this value down some. Okay, because it kind of comes down, down. Okay. And it's going to lighten up a little bit on the side. That's too green, so we're going to red it out some. So now I'm lightening things with orange, and I'm using this area right here. So when I put orange in here, it's predominantly yellow, predominantly blue. So that's going to green it out, so you need to negate it with the red. All right, that is kind of there. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit more red because I'm working in a lighter area right now, and I'm going to try to correct this area here. There we go. Step back. All right. Go in with this brush. I'm going to go into a mid-tone mode. All right. So up top, it is a little bit green. So let's green it out with some orange. I'm going to get a touch of cadmium. Yellow. I'm going to darken it with this other mixture here. Let's see what this does. Let's just go over the top of it just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. That kind of tied it in just a little bit. Just a little. And I'm going to make that a little bit bluer, but take that same value. All right. So it blued it out. I got the color that I want really with that. I'm just going to go into it just a little bit just to tie this in. There we go. Just bring it down ever so slightly. And again, go into the light area. It's going to mixing with the yellow underneath. Add a little bit of orange. Pull it up. And then we're just going to... We're turning the values like we do. We're mixing individual colors to turn the values. There we go. Step back. That is looking okay. It's looking better. That's looking better. Okay. I'm going to really clean this brush, and we're going to go into the lights with it. Go into lights. Let me think if I want to get those effects. I want to get those types of effects. Maybe I could do a combination of, I don't know if this would work. Well, you know what, I'll try it. This is a filbert, a very small filbert, 2 Princeton. I think it's synthetic. I think. Okay, going back into it, let's go into this value range right here. I'm getting the filbert because like there's a certain brush stroke, like kind of this one, it's rounded at the edge, and I want to try to get that with this. Okay, so this is like really light here. Let's bring it down with this value right beside of it. We're going to mix this in probably around this area and add just a touch of color, just a touch. We're going to press it, squeeze it out of the brush, and then kind of push it up to the tip. Okay? So you know, like when you paint, all the paint goes up into the brush and it goes down like all the way to the head? Like I kind of squeeze it out and then press it up onto the tip. That's what I do. Okay. So, and I can shape the other end if I want. Okay, same up top. I can use kind of the edge here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to press it up onto the edge. Okay. There we go. That's kind of the look that I was going for. Okay, so there's like a lot of light there. Let's do the same thing. We're going to take the brush. I'm going really flat and I'm going to kind of press it up the edge. I'm going to go diagonal and then scoop it up and then come across. It's like the best time to paint, like breathing wise, you don't want to paint when you're breathing in. You want to paint when you're breathing out, about here. When you're breathing out. And that's when you're most steady. Okay, it's this side. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to push the value a little bit, just the light value a little bit. I'm going to come up here. I'm really going to push it. If this is too much, it's too much. I'll just bring it back down, but whatever. Okay, we'll work with that. And one more place here. So I want it now. I'm going to step really far back here. Okay. I bring some of the values up around there. So I'm going to take this same brush. It's easy to clean and get light again if I want to. I'm going to get a little bit darker value, and I'm going to use this value to connect the highlights to the lighter midtones. All right, to the lighter midtones. Darken it just a little bit. There we go. Let's go into this area right here, darken it, and let's gray it out with some orange. Okay, add just a touch of red because it's now too green. Take it on the tip of the brush, and go in an angle. That's what I'm going for right there. squinting down, I'm squinting, I'm looking at this whole thing to make sure that I'm tying this in and like nothing's sticking out too far. Okay, so that's like kind of coming up. And let's work this area too because this is too standalone right now. Shape this highlight. Shape the highlight, this one. Okay. See how that looks. Okay. This transition is horrible, but I'll fix that. I haven't really worked on it that much. Let's make a little bit of connection between, actually, I know what needs to happen. This needs to actually darken some. I'm going to take this and pull it into it, I think. Okay, that looks better. We're going to do something that I should have been doing. Like, hold on, where's my freaking mirror? Aha, there you are. Hey, Harry. Zelda time. Somebody's at the door. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, so essentially, I'm going to get like a kind of a dark blue. Kind of paint and to connect this part. So it connects this, because right now this is separate. This value is separate. It needs to, right? It needs to, there needs to be a connection here. This value range needs to get lighter. So we're going to go with a darker blue. I like the shape of this brush. It was a good move. Okay, here, and I'm going to add a little bit of dark, that's a alizarin crimson, mixture with some ultramarine blue, actually. And I'm going to add a little bit of orange to it, a little bit more, to gray it out. And to gray it out because it needs to connect with everything here. Okay. And step back, go forward, the drawing's about here. Somewhere in here, so bring it across. Kind of pull some of the paint with it if I can. There we go. Okay. Let's get a little bit lighter value. That was that value, so we're going to go with something around here. Make sure it's grayed out. Let's try this. Just bring it across. Same thing, bring it across here. All right. Now, take a separate value. I'm going to go with another brush, but this brush is going to be the same thing. It's a Filbert 2 Princeton synthetic. I think it's synthetic. And I'm going to go into the reds and start working the reds and really working this transition because they're obviously not working right now. So we make them work. Make them work. Going in the red up here. We're just going in the straight red. All right, there we go. See how this looks. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, we're right there. Unify just a little bit. Okay, I want to darken this because I want this to go up, but I still want it to be very vibrant. All right, still want it to be vibrant. So let's just work in this one right here. See how that looks, and then I'm going to take this here. Just turn my body just a little bit. And then I'm going to take this, bring it into it just ever so slightly. It's kind of starting to work a little bit better. There we go. That's starting to turn. That's starting to turn. All right. What I could do, I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to start shaping some of the cracks into it. I tried the Zorn palette. I don't think mixing directly with brushes is for me. Like, what do you mean mixing directly with brushes, Harry? Okay. There we go. I'm mixing. Actually, this is the crack color. It's the crack color. He said crack. It's the crack color. Just barely imply a couple here. And I'm going to bring this over just a little bit into it. So we can shape it. Just slightly step back. I don't want to do too much with it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to try to clean this up just a little bit here. All right, just cleaning it up. All right, now let's shape this. Down. I'm going to take this brush here, this darker brush, add some orange. Mix between the black and cadmium red mixture. Because this now we're getting into kind of the more brown area. Sorry, like, I'm trying to think about this. Okay, there we go. There we are. Little Mario Brothers song in my head now for some reason. Because, Claudia, you said Zelda theme, which I was thinking of Zelda too. What did I say though? Did I say something about Zelda? And then, but then for some reason I started thinking Mario Brothers. It reminded me of that. I was playing all those games. Just so it happened that I was on Instagram. I love it. Okay. All right, let me shape some of the stonework out from the bottom here. Actually, let me see if I, no, it's kind of hard for me. I'm trying to, see, I'm standing aside and painting like this, where normally I'd be painting like this right here. This is how I'd be painting. So it's a different, I'm not used to this. I'll get used to it though. Dun, 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 dun. We are slowly just shaping these stupid frickin' stones. I'm taking the paintbrush, pulling some of the light value over to shape the corner of the stone here. Same with the top. There we go. Right. I'm going to place a stone right next to this one right here. There we go. And I'm going to shape the edges of it as well. Going the blue. I'm going to get a mid-tone and some alizarin crimson. Slightly warm. Start bringing some light up around the stones here. I'm just trying to maintain the entire impression of everything. There we go. Right. Selecting this part just a little bit, connect it. Okay. All right, now I'm going to try to bring some of the light up here as well from those lights. So to do that, I'm going to go in with another brush, just because they're pretty muddied at this point. I'm going to go with a flat synthetic. Okay, flat synthetic. And we're working around this value range right here. I'm going to take some of the orange and really work it up top into this. I'm going to add kind of a mid-tone. I'm going to add a highlight area just to kind of work off of. Okay, and it's going to be like below these lights, so it's going to be probably around here or so. My drawing's different. Like these stone pieces should be kind of over this way, like they should be kind of in the center. That's okay. I'll just put highlights like around this area, just straight down. It doesn't need to be exactly the same. Okay, so we're just adding some highlights in, kind of around this area right here, and then it's kind of just a little bit here. Let's put a little bit here. It fades up some, and I'm going to worry about the color in a second. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's put a little bit there. And then this kind of fades here, but then there's stuff here. Something like that. Okay. Bring it up. I think about there. I think this is pretty good. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to add color to that quite a bit. So let's go into the cadmium yellow, the cadmium red. Get quite a bit there. Okay. Mix them in. Really saturate this with color. There we go. Take some white. There we are. More cadmium yellow. Okay. There we go. Let's get more here. All right, so from there, I'm going to kind of work the colors into it. I'm going to take the same brush, and if I need another highlight brush, which I probably will, I'll just get another one, it's fine. And I'm going to take, what am I going to take? Let's work, I tell you what, let me rearrange some colors really quick. We're going to take this color here, the orange, we're going to put it right here. Now clean this off just a little bit. Take this red, I'm going to bring it here and drop this red down just a little bit. Clean this up. There you go. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. Now I can work between these colors here without flipping over the red. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Add some white. Well, rather, this mixture has add good amount of yellow ochre. There we go. And take a little bit of alizarin, or viridian rather, put it in there, green it out some. All right, let's try that. This is what we want. Yep, that is what I want for this. And I'm going to kind of bring it into the highlight just a little bit, kind of around it. There we go. All right, that highlight does need work, but I will get into it. It doesn't matter. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this is a good color. I like this. That is a little bit more orange. There we go. Step back. All right, so we're just slowly bringing the lights up. So you're doing this on your iPad, Queldar? I need to scroll up some, guys, sorry. Give me a second. Don't want to miss anything. Yeah, iPad is too small. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna work the manhole cover in, but I don't know how serious I'm gonna get with it. I'm just blocked in the basic color with it. Here's the thing, this painting it's not supposed to be an in-depth project. It's supposed to be just get a basic blocking of it. That's what it is. But I know myself, I'm gonna push this too far, and that manhole cover is some work. So watch a few of his videos, but I'm not subscribed. I should probably. Black beans CMS. So it'll be better. Yes, I know it will come to this. Yeah, the reference does have it blurred out. I'm very tempted to blur it out because this is just, frankly, look, if this was a big commission, I would do it. You know what? I'm having a horrible attitude about this right now. This other reference has it blurred out or something. Okay. I'll figure this out. I'll figure it out. There we go. All right, so I'm shaping this manhole cover. I'm just squinting down, trying to get an impression, essentially. Go, bring that up, bring this over, cut this in. I'm not gonna worry too much about the drawing with this. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I always get myself into trouble when I don't worry about the drawing because I'm being lazy. Being lazy. I am being lazy today, I have to say. I am hitting a wall. I am hitting a wall. What was I using? Was I using this brush? Okay, then I can wipe this brush off. Use this brush for the lights. That's what I do. Let's do that. Okay. Think. Draw. Light comes up. There. Let's do this. There. Push. That's kind of going over. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I need to get the drawing correct. It's not hard. I've done worse. You just need to stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. Don't be lazy. There we go. All right, so I'm simply drawing. This is like an underdrawing, okay? So I know where things go, roughly where things go. Roughly where things go. It's marking where I see certain points here. And then this piece kind of goes in there. This part's here. This part is here. This goes here. It's kind of impressionistic, kind of fading away. Okay. 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 Comes in. Okay. Okay, step back, see how that looks. Drawing. You know why I'm doing this? Because I'm pissing myself off with my attitude and how lazy I am. We're going to bully Lewis into making this his best painting ever. Do that myself, man. Because I have issues. I have issues. You might want to aim The camera, lower. Did y'all miss that? Is it not even showing it? You missed it. Actually, that's a good thing you missed it. Gotta go from the side. Let's see what I'm doing. You missed it. It's horrible, but I've been painting on that for the last however long. Damn it. Okay. All right. You can do this. You can do it. No, you can't. You suck. No, you can do it. Bad attitude. Bad attitude. You can do it. You can do it. There. Power. Okay, got it. Okay. We got this. We got it. We got it. All right, going into the light, add some cadmium yellow, a little bit more. Some orange in there. Really get the white. I'm just trying to get kind of a new mixture going here. Okay, should be good. It needs to be a nice crisp golden look, but light. There we go. Happy bush. Happy bush. And here we are, painting so peaceful. You don't have to think, you just put your brush down. There are no mistakes. You can just do whatever you want. Drawing doesn't matter. There are no rules. It's very liberating. Squinting down to get the impression. That. Oh. And then bring this here. Bring this up. Okay. Right. Always squint. Always squint. Always squint. Squint down. Squint, 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 squint. Goes across there. There we go. It's a very good quadricep workout too here, actually, I have to say. my quads. Woo! Right. See, I had erased it before. Y'all didn't see it. I erased it before because the drawing wasn't good. I just kind of blocked it in and just, it was an afterthought. You don't do that. You can't pull that crap. Can't do it. This little main hole was saying, nobody puts Bebe in the corner. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody puts Bebe in the corner. I was a little bit off down there, but we'll fix that. It's okay. We got it. Nobody. Baby in the corner. Pissing myself off today. Really pissing myself off. Really frickin' just being lazy. And then I complain. I say, oh, it doesn't look good. I wonder why. Because I don't put any effort into it. I don't put any effort into it. Manhole. Stupid manhole. Hey, Melanie. Melanie, I would like you to scroll up. I posted a video that applies to Tuesday. Crap. That was an accident. Right down. Anger mode activated. Right. It pisses me off sometimes. The stuff that I do. This part comes up. It comes up. There's a piece there. If that's there, this is here. There's a piece here. There's another piece that comes up like this. Right? This is here. Wait. Yeah. No, that works. Okay. Time for the fade. This is what I get. This is what I get. I knew this would happen. I knew it. Everything I take way too long on. Everything. Squint. Okay. Now. Black. cadmium red, walnut oil, mix, squint, impression. There we go. And the picture cuts off there, thank God, because I don't want to paint all this. Okay. All right, horrible attitude activated. Horrible attitude. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are days where you don't have the patience for it. And what happens is you try to take shortcuts, and then when you do, you get pissed off that you're not where you want to be. But then you do brief self-reflection, potentially. In my case, I have. And then I look. I have flashbacks in a very dramatic form of the last hour and a half and me not caring. And my genius level intellect has figured out that the reason why this looks horrible is because I have been painting like I don't care. All right, so let this be a lesson to you. Don't just say, this is a nothing painting and we're just going to get it done and then expect it to look like a good painting, because it's not going to, okay? It's just not going to. You got that, Quildar? It'd save your life one day. Manhole. Now, we continue to shape it. Frickin' shape it. Okay. Observing. Implementing. Edges. That drawing's wrong. Fixing drawing. It's the wrong brush. No, it's the right brush. Good. Of course it's the right brush. Cadmium yellow into the light. Add some orange, which is the yellow ochre and the red. Add a little bit more cadmium. Give it a little bit of a spice. Push the paint up on the brush. Okay, actually, I'm going to darken this a little bit, and then I'm going to push the values out from that. Mixture in between, right here, substantial amount of cadmium, walnut oil. That's the color. I think maybe make it a little bit lighter. Walnut oil mix. Harry, you didn't tell me what you meant by mixing with your brush. You're not a good brush mixer. I don't know what that means. If you're not a good brush mixer, let's make you a good brush mixer. You mean like just straight up like with the brush without doing the piles of paint? Milani. Lewis in regular mode. Milani! Laura and Dania and Quildar. I don't know. Sometimes the break's not the answer, even though it's pretty much time for the stream to end. Sometimes the break's not. Sometimes the issue is. Sometimes the issue is you just need to man up, and that's kind of what I'm doing. Let's go. All right. Let's get the impression here. I'm just gonna squint down, get the impression. The drawing's in the ballpark here. It's just I need to make it look pretty. And I really do need to work on the impression with this. I do need to get the impression because the light impression is a little bit off. Light impression is just slightly off, slightly. We can fix it. Nothing we can't fix. It's all good. Oh, there's this piece here. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Bringing the values down some to bring them back up later. All right. Sometimes you just gotta work through this. Please tell me I'm not blocking this. Okay, I think I'm good. Back. How? All right, alizarin crimson. Working in a dark value range, right? Dark value range. Dark value range. This one comes over like that. Straight across from there, there. Another one here. Fade. Back. Okay. It's light value here. Orange. There we go. Here. So I know I'm less vocal, guys. I know I'm less vocal. I'll work on it. Okay. It's like an egg turns, right? Light to dark. I think of the same thing here, but it's a little bit more intricate, but you can still kind of get it. Have y'all seen Big Trouble in Little China? It's a really good movie. Saw it the other day. I'm procrastinating, should be designing a logo, but I finished my painting of my dog. Ooh, cool. I still need to follow you on Instagram, Melanie. Linseed oil, Laura, it's good. I like it. You should use it. It just yellows a little bit more than walnut oil, but it has a very good binding factor. Emotions deactivated. You guys are hilarious. I did a life class when I managed to draw a girl that resembled Homer Simpson. Put me right off. Really? That's hilarious. She really didn't look like Homer. I feel like we're all very weird people in this stream, which is good. I think when you're weird, it's like you're unique, right? Okay. See, the thing is, this is very sunken in right now. It's like this is partially sunken in. It really is. I wonder if it's because the air's hitting here. Whatever. Okay. All right, I'll pick this back up. I don't know if I'll still be working on this on Tuesday. I might be. I might be. But I think we'll end the stream. I think we're going to end the stream. I think this is it. We'll get it. It's just with this painting, I was like, okay, I'm going to get this done fast because it's not a huge painting. It's just not supposed to be. It's supposed to be something quick for his cover. And I am going to make it something that's like really refined, and I know it. And it's something I need to work on. But anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm going to set the Discord server up, okay? And I'll post it on the discussions page, because I have a discussions page. I don't know what the difference between the discussions page and the community page is on the on YouTube, but on the YouTube channel discussions page. All right. So, thanks for coming, everyone. Y'all are awesome. Yeah, I know it's a good thing, Laura. It's just sometimes like I'm working a lot right now, and I need to get that good video out. I have one coming out tonight actually, but it's kind of it's an okay video, but it's nothing y'all don't see in the stream. But I'm putting it out for those who don't see the stream. So, with the troublesome commission, don't start to paint until the check clears, or start and hope for the best. I start painting before the check clears. I don't really have problems with that, and if it goes away, like if, you know, I do. I don't really worry about it. Quell Garcia, buddy, Laura. Yeah. That's good advice, Laura. All right. I'm going to, like I said, Discord server, I'm going to get it going, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right? Excellent. All right, Melanie. Cool. It's good having you. I'm glad it helps you, Lisa. There will be plenty more, trust me. Y'all take care. Have a nice weekend.